there's been warring factions in my house today because of the new Essenza machine that's shown up. My son wants me to unbox it as fast as I can because he's impatient, but my wife wants me to get rid of the machines we've already got out on the worktop so before any new machines go on there, because she's getting sick of having so many around all the time. So unfortunately, there's only going to be one winner there, isn't there? So we'll leave the unboxing of the Latissima until tomorrow or another day. Well, tomorrow perhaps, maybe another day. So today we're just going to have a quick review of the Pixie. Now, obviously we did a comparison video, in case this is your first video you've watched, where we compared this to the Essenza Mini and then to the Citiz. But I appreciate some people might just be looking at this one machine thinking, this is what I want. Is it the right machine for me? Well, hopefully it will help you to find out. So specification wise, it comes in 4 different colours. You've got like a dark red, an electric red, and there's a couple of different grey ones, and then there's a darker red than that as well. Let's have a look at the specification. So it's got 2 cup sizes on it. If we just have a look on the top here, you've got your espresso and your lungo, but you can make a ristretto with it if you reset the cup sizes, which is easy enough to do. You just hold the button down to the desired length. It's a 19 bar pressure machine, so it makes good shots, good espresso shots. It takes 25 seconds to heat up, but it does have an optimized heat up time. And when we did that comparison video with the other 2 machines, we did notice that it heated up faster on the second time. So that was a big benefit. If you're making a few, if you've got friends around and you want it to heat up quickly in between, or, well, it seemed to heat up faster. Not the friends thing, it just seemed to heat up faster. It has an auto shut-off. It has a tank of 0.7 litres, which is slightly bigger than the Essenza Mini, but significantly smaller than the Citiz. What else does it have? It has it's 3 kilograms in weight. It's quite a stable machine. This handle is quite stable. I quite like that. I was worried about that, but it's pretty good. By the way, as well, if you say, for our regular subscribers, I'm going to let you know about a little offer on the Essenza Mini at the end of this video that I've seen that you might be interested in if you've been thinking about that machine as well. And I'm just mentioning that now because you might, if you're looking at this, you might also be looking at the Essenza Mini. So I'll tell you about that in a minute. And it's not the one on the Nespresso website. It's a different one. So anyway, water tank, 0.7 litres. We've said that. Dimensions, 11.1 centimetres. Is that right? 11.1 centimetres wide. That is right. 32.6 deep and 23.5 high in height. And it's got a power cable of 0.8 metres. That's the same as the Essenza Mini, but the Citiz is 1 metre, just in case you're thinking of that. The capsule container holds 10 used capsules. It has a descaling alarm, which is different to a couple of the other machines, I think. An empty water tank detection, and it also has like I said, the optimized heat up time. I've already mentioned that. So we've been through the specifics of the machine there. What do I personally think about it, having used it for a while? Well, I do like it as a machine. I personally like the look of it. I think this is a solid handle. I really like that mechanism. However, I do prefer the flick up mechanisms because they're just easier. Anything that's easy and quick, I prefer. I'm just that sort of person. I just want to do it as quick as I can. So yeah, but it's still a good solid mechanism. I wouldn't worry about the handle if you're worried about that. The buttons on top, they work fine, but I have found you've had to press them harder than you would for some of the other machines, just to make it register. I'll press it now just because I want to make a coffee. But if I press it lightly, it hasn't come on. But if I press it a bit firmly, you see, it has come on. So that proves you've got to press it firmly. When I was moving it around the other day, I did notice a little bit of leakage coming from the bottom, but it hasn't been leaking when it's standing still. It's been completely fine. And I'll be honest, when I did pick it up the other day, I think if you move this from side to side, then you can get a bit of leaking, but I haven't had any other problems with that. The shelf was the thing that worried me the most, probably might be worrying you the most. Will it fit things under it? Well, the travel mug from Nespresso fits under it, the virtual mug will as well, and most importantly, a recipe glass will fit underneath, which, the Essenza Mini doesn't, but I've heard people say you can put it up on a book and things like that. I've always had Citiz's since I first got an espresso machine about 5 years ago. It's been Citiz. But since having this, being honest, I like the design. I like the industrial look. I wanted to try it out for a bedroom machine with the Essenza Mini to see if this might be appropriate for the bedroom. And it is, but to be honest, it is appropriate as a main machine as well. It's got a good enough functionality for me personally to have it as a main machine. And you can get a decent amount of coffees out of it if you remember to fill it up to the brim. So we'll just make a quick coffee now. I'll make a lungo in a lungo cup. And the reason I'm going to make a lungo and I'm making a coffee is one thing that came up. I'll tell you two things that came up now in the comparison review. In case you watch that, if you get time, watch that to see the differences between the machines. One thing that came up was the noise it makes, and we tested it after. We didn't really focus on it in the comparison, but a commenter mentioned it, and I went back and looked at the machines, and actually the Pixie was significantly louder than the other two machines that we tried. However, on first use, there wasn't a lot of difference in the temperatures between the machines of the coffee, but on second use, we found that the Pixie was a good couple of degrees hotter in the coffee that we tested, so that's a bonus for it. But I'm going to make a lungo instead of an espresso, just to give you a little bit more time to listen to it and hear the differences in how loud it is. Now, what we noticed this is afterwards when we were listening, so I'm going to mention it now. We didn't mention it on the comparison video, but what we noticed was the Essenza Mini starts off quieter, but then it seemed to it's still quiet. It's a quiet machine, but it starts off quieter. The Citiz started off a little bit louder, but then seemed to quieten down to more of like an Essenza Mini level. With the Pixie, it was just loud all the way through. So I'll make a lungo now, and you can listen to it for yourself. I hope you could hear that a little bit. I appreciate it's difficult to hear it through the camera and things like that, but it is a louder machine than the other ones were. But it is a little bit hotter. It's a nice industrial look. Is it right for you? Well, that's up to you. Does it being loud matter? Does it matter if it's loud? Well, it could do if you've got friends staying, family, and you're setting off coffees early in the morning and they're having a lie-in. Could wake someone up, I suppose. So there are things that these things you might not think about, but it can make a difference. But price-wise, I think it's $139 on the Nespresso website. You'll obviously get it cheaper elsewhere, but price-wise in the UK right now, it's £139, I think, roughly. How was that compared to the Mini? Well, the Mini is supposed to be $89.99, but you can get it for £59 on the Nespresso website right now with 100 free capsules. This is when the video's made, by the way. 100 free capsules and a £25 month's free subscription. And the Citiz is more expensive than that. I think that was about £160. So there is a big difference between the Mini and this. Is this a better machine, more sturdy machine? Well, I've got to say for me, it is. It's more substantial. Will the Mini do the job? I think it will, for most people. But it's not ideal with it not fitting the travel mug underneath and things like that. The deal I was going to tell you about, special little deal. These are the View mugs, by the way. View cups and mug set. Well, the cup set, isn't it, with saucers. We've got a review of those on the channel, so have a look at that. But this special deal, if you're a subscriber, you watch every video we have, and you're looking at the Essenza Mini right now, I spotted it on Argos, the Krups one, not the Magimix, for $49.99. Sorry for the dog barking, by the way, if you can hear that. Dog's barking out the back. But $49.99 with the 100 free capsules and with the £25 subscription. The only difference is you have to claim it back through Nespresso, which I've done in the past when I got my virtual machine here. I claimed 100 free capsules through Nespresso and they got sent out. The subscription was in the box, but I had to claim the rest. I think with this deal, you'd have to claim it all, I think. And that'll be through the Nespresso service. So that's a little extra bonus for you. But as for the Pixie, my personal opinion, I like it, but it's loud. But it's hotter on the second pour. It seemed hotter. But is it worth the extra money? That big gap of £50 in standard pricing if you're not taking any deals into account. it's all about the look in it. I suppose that comes down to what you like the most in the look. Do I like the Citiz? For me, I like the big Citiz. You know, it's big and bulky, nice big water tank on it. However, I've been tempted to keep this instead of it, but I don't think my wife will let me. She likes the Citiz. And I think for the bedroom machine, she prefers the Mini as well. But we'll see what happens. But thanks for watching the video. Hope you found it useful. If the offer's good to you, I hope I've helped you out there with a little bit of a bonus for our subscribers. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the notification bell if you're new and you do subscribe and you won't miss any future videos. We've got loads planned. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekend. Bye for now.